They look good. They got a pretty nice little house. Yeah, they've been up there now. Well, they've been married for a year and a half. They've been up there now. I don't see it now. What do you want? I could use Don McCall.
Alicia?
Yes?
Can you hear me? It's Melissa.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm not able to see the webcam for you guys.
She can't see it.
The podium.
Okay, we'll check on it.
Okay, it says webcams are hidden. Thank you.
It's making me change my password.
Like these?
Okay, there we go. Okay, there's that. Okay, now here's...
When I go to in there, it shows the screen. See?
Ooh, but it's got that. Why has it got little... Okay, yeah, what one do you need up?
Let me, that one.
This one?
And that.
Alicia, I'm able to see them now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. There's that one, and then this one? Okay. So those, yep, those will just be minimized down there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just bear with us for about a week. It's fine. I don't care how long it
She said she could see it now.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna open one thing just so it's in the background.
This right here? I just go to.
Says meetings and
Yeah, yes.
I'm looking at it.
Hi. Hey.
And I get that. No, I got
Kevin Lighting.
but I get that. But I'm this you and then I open files. Is it I just said here's what's different from you and I had
Check. I've got 3 positions. Yeah, Patrick, I think he's still gonna, Chief Cross is gonna say something.
Okay. You stand right there. Mm-hmm. Jenny stands right here. See, you're not nervous. Okay. That's all there is to it. Can you just speak into the mic? Okay. That's all there is to it.
I think the foot's all. Well,
What I'll probably do is I'll probably take Bella when he comes in. Because Patty's coming. The 3 of you. And Bella can come sit with me. Well, not yet. Just for that. Again, you guys go in. You come sit with me. All right. And then my mom and dad can come in. And you can sit up there. You'll have a good seat.
I call this meeting to order of the Marshalltown City Council. We're at City Hall Council Chambers at 10 West State Street. It is April 27th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Would you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Can we have roll call, please?
Cahill.
Here.
Fonseca.
Here.
Mitchell. Here. Nichols. Here. Schneider.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Yepes Gomez.
Here. Thank you. Let's move on to public comment. Members of the public may make comments on any item that was not on the agenda during this time. The speaker shall approach the microphone and state their name and address. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes unless a longer comment is authorized by the mayor. The speaker shall direct comments to the mayor and the council as a whole. The mayor and council may provide a response to a public comment, but shall not engage in discussion or debate on items raised by members of the public. No action may be taken on items raised in public comments to comply with open meetings laws. And with that, the microphone is yours. Again?
I am Lonnie Hoagland, 1408 East Main Street. Lonnie Hoagland, 1408 East Main Street. I'm asking, I'm going to turn around and talk to the people. I'm asking everybody to get up and say what's on your mind. Don't sit there like you got glue on your rear end. If you got something on your mind, this is not the principal's office. Talk to them. Tell them what's on your mind, because I'm going to get up and talk again once everybody says they're definitely done, but I'm not going to get left behind.
Thank you, Lonnie. Anyone else? Last call. Okay. Whoa.
Okay, the officer might take me out of here. I'll come out friendly. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Danielle Leakin, Marshalltown Central Business District, 34 West Main Street. I just want to remind everybody that this weekend, May 2nd, we'll be hosting our annual Spring Team Up to Clean Up downtown. So we'll meet in front of our office, and it's from 10 to noon if you'd like to come out and help us get downtown picked up.
Thank you, Danielle. Lonnie?
How many times did you speak in today?
I am going to try and only speak once. I might run over 3 minutes. No, I will. If you want me to please be quiet, I will leave. I talked to the officer and I just blah, blah, blah. I've got a lot on my mind. You guys are busy. You got a huge schedule here. I told Alicia, I can't name anybody, but I told her I'm going to call her out. She does an amazing job. I think she's got to write notes of everything I say. Oh my goodness. I wanted Gary Thompson to win mayor's seat. Not that I dislike Mr. Lottiehoff. I wanted to be a council person for 2 years. Mike's going to do a great job. I'm going to quit calling out people. But anyway, if anybody has met me and said I'm extra nice, it's because I can't remember what I have. But I've got a terrible memory problem. I fell and hit my head about 7 or 8 years ago. I have ADHD. Attention Deficit Hyper Disorder. If I'm doing snow toes for the police and they change my mind, it drives me insane. Blah, blah, blah. I have to have stuff in order, blah, blah, blah. I can't take something that is unorganized. It just doesn't work with me. Government is unorganized. I'm saying Marshalltown has huge problems. You need to admit it. I met another council person, maybe sitting on the left end. I might have spoke with him for 4 hours over the weekend. Wonderful guy. I don't know a person, but you might be figuring out who I'm talking about. He's a great guy. I don't know all you guys. I've noticed enough that all of you mean well. You mean good. You guys need to, I cannot believe that nobody got up and told them what's on their mind. Anyway, I'm a driven person. I left here the last meeting, and I didn't pout off and leave. I left and said, I can't sit here like this anymore. It's driving me insane because government moves so slow. You guys volunteer your time, but you get paid a little bit. It's not enough to the time you spend, but let the people speak. Listen to their problems. Just know, if I ever yelled at you, I didn't mean to. But you probably deserved it. But just because you deserved it doesn't give me the right to rip your rear end. But I have probably been extra nice to people because I'm learning so much about whatever I have. And I also have dyslexia. Marshalltown schools failed me. I fell through the cracks. I can remember my about second grade teacher. I don't know who it was, which grade it was, excuse me. I flunked second grade or third grade. It was Mrs. Thompson. I don't know what grade it was. I'll figure that out later. I remember I had Mrs. Clay. I went to Woodbury School where I started. I went to Glick School. I went to Rogers School. I went back to Anson Elementary. I went to Corpus Christi, Texas. I fell through the cracks. I learned 7 times 7 is 49 by Mrs. Singer. I like her. I didn't like her at the time, but you got to pound that into your head. You guys got to make sure. I'd like to make the same presentation to the school board that they teach these kids. I'm getting it that I'm taking too long. You guys are looking at a guy that's driven, and I've figured out how I can funnel my energy in the last couple weeks. So It's Lonnie 2.0.
Thank you, Lonnie. Anyone else?
Ray, Ray Mitchum, 1402 South 3rd Avenue. And I hadn't really planned on speaking tonight, but after what Lonnie said, I figured a teacher had better say something. After living here now in the Marshalltown community for over 80 years, you do learn some things. And one of the things you learn is patience. And I know people like Lonnie have to have a lot of patience. And if it wasn't for a lot of people in the community that not only have patience, but we have confidence that eventually some good decisions will be made. But some of you may know that I have the patience with the Marshalltown Library Board because over the years I've seen some things with the library board that just aren't right, but they won't be corrected right away. But knowing the truth, you stand your ground and keep going back and saying eventually the truth should come out. Well, the same way here with the city council. It's not going to happen overnight, but a lot of things, I've heard things the last few weeks, as a lot of you have, about the streets. And I had two sons, one from Kansas City and one from Holland, Michigan, that just came back here 2 weeks ago. And of course, you can imagine one of the things they said is, Dad, why doesn't the city do something about the streets? I mean, they both recognized it. And you'd hate to think people coming from out of town, that's the first thing that they notice. I mean, there are some potholes that are terrible. And I just think that, sure, I like bike trails too, but do bike trails take precedence over city streets? I think most people would agree that the city streets better be considered. But anyway, those are the kinds of things that Lonnie, they know that it has to be decided, but why aren't some decisions being made? Sometimes it takes just like people, won't want to come up and talk. It takes, I don't know, whatever it takes, but a member of the community, needs to realize that if I don't speak, who will? So anyway, not only keep doing what you're doing, but keep remembering that there are people that are afraid to speak, but maybe you need to go out and speak to them, and I hope that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lee Botter, 401 Orchard Drive. You know that I'm not afraid to speak. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Mr. Mayor for going out to the schools to talk to the kids and bringing those kids in for discussion. Thank you for Kelsey. I think she went to Rogers. Is that correct? So thank you, Kelsey. I would like to point out something, though. Okay, you forgot to mention a couple people, really important people. Councilman Cahill. When the seeds were planted with Splash for Life years ago, 12 years ago, when the children drowned, Sue was instrumental in helping us get the project off the ground. And it was actually the Woodbury kids that started the fundraising. And it brings tears to my eyes. One of the little gals that headed it up, she's now graduated from high school, but it was her brother that was the first one that drowned. So thank you, Sue. And also my better half, Mark Mitchell. He's put up with the excitement, the tears, the frustration. He's calmed me down when I've been ready to go off the cliff. So and he's really done an outstanding job in respect to fundraising for us. So thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Lee.
Thanks, Lonnie. My name's Jim Palmer, 3111 South 8th Street. As you know, I'm a business owner here in town. I'm very proud of it, second generation. Been here since 1978, a transplant, okay? And I come up here on occasion to talk about things, but this time I want to talk about something a little bit different. I want to remind everybody that won a seat. They won a place up on this stage in front of me. Okay? Your constituents voted you to be in that position and vote on their behalf. Not your special interest, not the people knocking on your door saying, hey, the money needs to run this way or needs to run that way. The money that these people spend in this community, paying their taxes, goes to the city. Goes to repair our streets, goes to repair our sewers, all the infrastructure that you were tasked to do or that this council was tasked to do for the city. So I'm asking you, from just adding on to Lonnie, we need to go forward with this. It takes time, but the right decisions need to be made. And the taxpayers' money that comes here, that's paid by the taxpayers, is spent here, in our community, in our boundaries. Not outside of our boundaries, not in the county. Okay? That's my feeling on it. As a business owner, you have to do the right thing. And knowing where our money's going, what kind of savings did we have? That's never reported on, right? That's always hidden. So did we save money on some projects? We never hear about those things. You guys probably need to be more forthcoming and more honest about, here's what our project actually cost us. I could go into 1 million different things. I know some projects will overrun because unaccountable things happen that you don't know about. But it's always thrown on a consent agenda or something that's buried that we can't get to. Is that right? I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Already had a bite.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Okay, let's move on to mayor, council, and administrator comments. Does anyone have any comments they'd like to make? The only thing that I have is, yes, Kelsey went with me to Rogers. I'm through about half of the first grades. They have incredible ideas, as you can imagine. Having a lot of fun with it, but I tell you what, you see an awful lot of empathetic kids. It's not just all toys and stuff. They take their community very seriously. So.
Your Honor, I have a comment.
Go ahead.
I just want to make a comment that every dime this council spends is public record in the agenda, available to anybody who wants to read it. Our bid tabulations are public. There's nothing being held from the public on what we spend.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's move on to years of service. Police.
Hello, Sadie Weekly, Captain, Marshtown Police Department, and I have the pleasure of giving Officer Jewell his 5 years of service. Officer Jewell is local. He's from Marshall County. He's been with us for 5 years. He's a member of our SWAT team. He's on our bike patrol, and he has been, the last few years, assisting us doing some instruction for the Citizens Academy. So As you can see, he's usually the best dressed in the department as well. So just want to congratulate him on his 5 years. He's been a great asset to our department. So.
Okay. Kevin Priggers is not here for transit. However, he does have 15 years in this year. Moving on, Chief Cross.
Way to make it 5 years now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'd like to invite my 25-year employee to the front, please. I see him back. Oh, here you go. Hey. Come on up here. Please pay no attention to the Minnesota Twins hat he's wearing. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's fine. So this is Patrick Cornwell, and he's been with the fire department for 18 years. Is that right? Patrick is a transplant from the communications division when, back in the old days when communications was next door in the PD. He saw the light and wanted to come over to the fun side of the house. But Patrick is he's kind of a pillar of his community. His wife Deb is in the back. She works. She's a civil servant as well. She works for the county, and she's in the GIS section. Is that right, Deb? IT. Sorry. Yeah. Well, I'm a knuckle dragger, like somebody. But anyway. Patrick lives north of town, and he's the fire chief at Green Mountain. So not only is he a lifelong public servant for the citizens of Marshalltown, he walks the walk and talks the talk where he lives. So I'm very proud that you're on the department, and I'd like to congratulate you for a quarter of a century of service to the community. I'm very proud of you. Thanks for being on the team.
Okay, now we have Marshalltown Futsal League Award presentation.
Good afternoon. My name is Jorge Ramirez and my wife Patricia Gomez. We have been running the Futsal League for 8 years, and the last 4 at the Memorial Coliseum. I'm going to say it in Spanish, and my wife's going to translate it to English. Para mí es un honor presentar este reconocimiento a Jennifer Hart por su gran trabajo y dedicación, no solamente para la liga, pero también para la comunidad.
It's an honor to present this award to Jennifer Hart for her outstanding work and dedication, not to the league, not just only to the league, but to our entire community.
Jennifer siempre está ahí si tengo una pregunta para guiarme y siempre constantemente ayudando, sugiriendo y muchas ocasiones, especialmente durante los torneos de niños en el pasado.
Jennifer is always there when I have questions or need guidance, and she constantly offers helps or suggestions on many occasions, especially during youth tournaments in the past.
Siempre ayudándome con las programaciones fácilmente. Jennifer, quiero que sepas lo mucho que te apreciamos, no solo yo, sino mi familia y la entera comunidad. Gracias por todo lo que haces.
She has gone above and beyond to help coordinate schedules and make everything run smoothly. Jennifer, I want you to know that you are truly appreciated, not just by me, but by my family and the entire community. Thank you for everything you do.
Okay, let's move on to consent agenda.
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Do I hear a second to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Nichols?
Here. Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Yepes Gomez?
Yes.
Cahill?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay. G, reports. A report from Zach Maxfield, Marshalltown Waterworks.
Hello, Council and Mayor. Thank you for having me tonight. Want to maybe do something a little different. I'll give a report on Marshalltown Waterworks, but then open it up to any questions. Feel free to interrupt me anytime if you guys have a question about whatever we're going over. So, first I want to talk about our system and our aging system and all the projects and things that we have going on right now. We have about 160 miles of water main in the ground, some over 120 years old. We have 1,000 fire hydrants that we are tasked to maintain, paint, flush, and 1,000 valves that we turn to fix main breaks. We have 20 main breaks a year on average, where our crews take over and repair those. Every year we do a city-wide fire hydrant flushing. We didn't do that last year. We had some staff turnover. We had a big project of replacing meters. We went every town and replaced close to 10,000 meters in Marshalltown. Our guys had to go walk about 14 miles a day, every day. Sorry about that. Every day to read everybody's meter. We build bi-monthly, and it'd take 14 miles a day, 5 days a week to get all that done. Since then, replacing all these meters, we have been able to drive all these houses. So instead of taking a week or 2 weeks to read 1,000 meters or 1,500 meters, we can get that done in about a day. So that frees up a lot of service work. We have about 50 left. When people in town are talking, or when I'm talking with other people in the state, 50 is an obscene low number. We've had a great turnout, and I thank everybody in Marshalltown for letting us get in your house, replace these aging meters, and so that way we don't have to read and we can give better results when we're doing reading, because that information we now get from these new meters, we can tell you if you have a leak, when that leak started. If somebody has a high bill, we can go point out that it started last Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, what was going on? They say, I had no idea. This is why your bill is so high. And our customer service staff will work with those people to, kind of get those things taken care of. But those new meters have been a great help. Like I said, we just finished, or we're getting ready to finish up our hydrant flushing. This year we're doing something a little different. We're flushing on the west side of town. And then on the fall, we'll finish up on the east side of town, just to kind of free up the guys to get to some more work that they needed to get done over the winter. Things like that would be repairing concrete patches for main breaks, fixing some of these hydrants that are being broken, and just regular everyday service calls. Carol asked me to kind of talk a little bit more about fire hydrants and how we figure out which ones to replace first, and how to determine that and what that process looks like. So typically, we don't know that a fire hydrant's out. We don't have an alarm that goes off when one gets hit or something quits working. So this hydrant flushing that we do is a good way. When we go to every side of the west side, we write down what the chlorine level is, how long we flushed it, and if it's operable or not. From there, we'll look at the list and kind of determine on where we're going to go next. What are the critical areas? What areas don't have another fire hydrant 400 feet away? We try to work with the fire department and let them know those lists, so that way if there was an incident that night or that day, they don't go to a broken fire hydrant. Well, with that, there's, I think on the list that we have or that we know about, I think there's 7 to 10 out of the 1,000 that are currently active and running. So I think that's a good number. Problems that we have with fixing fire hydrants, everybody's like, hey, why can't you get that fixed right now? When we fix a fire hydrant, there's outages, there's concrete that has to get poured back. If it's in a problem area, we don't want to tear up a busy road and know that it's going to be left over, like a Marion Street or a 3rd Avenue. With that too, they're also general costs that come with fire hydrant repair. A fire hydrant itself is anywhere from $4,500 to $6,500. With that is then concrete, rock, employee labor. So hydrant replacement or fixing a broken hydrant can cost, upwards of $10,000. But we prioritize ones that are in impact areas next to schools, hospitals, busy intersections that don't have another hydrant in the area around that. Any questions on fire hydrants? I know that was a big talking point and a big thing. I don't want to skip over something that somebody had a question about.
Does anyone have any questions?
I have one question, not about fire hydrants, but do you give courtesy calls if you suspect somebody has a leak and they'll be like, oh, sorry, I'm filling my pool or something like that?
So when right now we bill bi-monthly. So if we go through and drive by and read your house, Jeff, we will get that report when we're doing our billing. We'll see that your typical 2 months you might use 400 cubic feet. If this month you used double that, 800 cubic feet, one of our billing clerks will call you and say, hey, Jeff, looks like you have a high bill, or we might send somebody out if they know Jeff typically has a pool, he fills it up every year. Is the pool up? Yep, you filled up your pool. So we do that. We have guys, boots on the ground with guys that know, hey, you might have a pool, or hey, this person has a large garden that they water every spring. We have a staff that's been there for quite a while, so they know kind of what goes on in town and who's doing what. And what we do, if we see that you have a huge leak, you will typically know before you receive that bill in the mail. So, and then we do a really good job, I think we do a really good job of trying to work with those homeowners that have a leak. Hey, sounds like your toilet's running. They don't believe that they use that much water. Hey, now we can tell you it started on this day and what's going on, or hey, it was started on this day and it got fixed this day. So, but we try to do our best to work with people and make arrangements and things like that, so that way we know a large water bill could be a big burden, and so we try to make sure that they keep their water on and their bills are as manageable as possible. So, but with that, I talked about kind of our aging infrastructure, having some pipes in the ground that are 120 years old. We have multiple projects right now going on through town. We have a West High Street project that's been going on for a little over a year right now. I talked to him in a meeting this morning with Mike that we do a lot of our projects in-house. We do that because we've bid projects out. We realize that it's quicker to hire somebody out, but we try to do as much thing in-house to save costs, because we can lay more pipe for cheaper, but it might take a little bit longer. And we recognize that, but we try to work with homeowners, the business owners in those areas to say, hey, we're going to be going through your yard. It might not get done as quick as another contractor, but we'll be back. We're going to repair it to the best of our abilities and try to be transparent about the whole thing. So we have a project on West High Street. We're also working with the city on Main Street. So Construct's finishing that up. That was some 120-year-old pipe. Our distribution manager saw one of the oldest cards I've ever seen. It was put in 1914. That's getting replaced with this project. That is a huge project, and I'm so happy that you guys are doing that, because I've worked here for about 10 years, and that's a scary area for us because of the impact that it could have to downtown and the hard capabilities it would take to fix the problem down there. So I'm happy that this project's getting done, and it's getting done fast. So I thank you guys for that. Also another big project that we have going on is north of town. We're building a 6 million gallon RO treatment plant to go with our 12 million gallons a day lime softening treatment plant. That plant will give us another 6 million gallons of capacity. So right now we have about 12 million gallons of capacity. It'll free up some water, so any future infrastructure or somebody new coming to town will be able to provide water for them. We're hoping that project gets done in the spring of 2028. Still a couple years out. They started in October, but things are going well out there. The weather's holding them up, but it's fun. And I ask if anybody ever wants to see something like that or a tour, feel free to call our office and I can take you out there and show you, because it's an exciting thing. That's kind of all I have. I say it was kind of quick, but I was hoping maybe you guys would have some questions or anything like that that I wouldn't touch on.
Does anyone have any questions?
Nobody else is going to go. I've got another one. So since this is a different treatment process, Are the waters blended to ensure a quality taste? And I'm sure you guys keep that in mind, don't you?
Yeah, so fortunately, I ever think everybody's aware of the nitrate levels that they hear on the news and things like that around Iowa. We're really fortunate to have really good source water from the aquifers that we drill out of. So we don't have any nitrates. So not along with having really good source, non-contaminated water with nitrates or PFAS or anything like that, we also have really good tasting water. And that's comes from our plant, our lime softening plant, but we have tucked in the RO blending into consideration. And RO gives us the future capacity of filtering out any more chemicals like a PFAS or something like that, nitrates. It's kind of hard with lime softening, but we don't have that issue. But any future chemicals that would come up, it'd give us better filtration for that. But we are well aware that Marshalltown has really good drinking water, and we don't want to change that at all. Then last thing, if nobody else has any questions, I just want to thank our staff at Marshalltown Waterworks. They work their butts off, and they try really hard to be good public servants and make sure that we have some of the best tasting, most reliable drinking water in the state. When you, like you said, you see those things on KCCI or other news stations, we don't have to worry about that stuff here because the dedication that they put out there. We have a lot of long-term staff, and I can't give somebody a certificate right now, but we have a lot of long-term employees, and I thank them for everything that they do.
Okay. Is there any questions from the public? Go ahead.
Tim Bradbury, 12 North 10th Avenue. I've always heard about our water quality, and like when Coca-Cola was here, that they always said Marshalltown was rated high because of them being here, that's why they were here. My big question is I appreciate Alliant being here and the jobs and everything. That it's great to have Alliant here and other businesses that use millions of gallons of water a day. But my concern is for the upgrades and to accommodate them for all their water use and JBS and different ones. I mean, you're talking 10 million a gallon or more, or near 10 million at Alliant. And if they're bringing in another addition, how much more? And then I know JBS does nearly 2 million a day and other places around. Nothing against them. But when we make additions, and when we do to accommodate them, are us as the normal resident, are we paying the costs to get their business and accommodate them for their water and their usage, because they have to be paying, even though they pay a high bill for water, the ratio for us compared to them, to me, seems too much that we're paying more to accommodate them. Is that true? And again, with the additions of Alliant and all the water they use and stuff, to accommodate them, are we paying for some of that extra because of having their business here?
Yeah, no, thank you. No, so other big businesses and things like that, we're not, we don't push those extra costs onto the homeowners. We do rate increases flat across the board. So everybody in town would get the same rate increase. Alliant, JBS, anybody would get the same rate increase as everybody that lives in town. I look at those big businesses as easy revenue. We have the same water pipes. We haven't put anything new into the ground to pump to Alliant to do anything like that. But with having good partners like JBS, Alliant, Emerson, big car washes, golf courses, we're able to keep rates down and able to still do some of the work that we have because we're able to pump 3-4 million gallons extra a day. Our average days are upwards of 6.5 to 7 million gallons, with our peak days close to 12 million gallons, and that's why the need of the new plant with Marshalltown growing, we have to grow. And so with those places having big, large industrial consumers, we're still be able to pump them and get the revenue back without having to put that burden on the rest of the community. We've had several large rate increases over the last several years, but unfortunately, in the past, we had the cheapest water in the state for lime softening, and that's just a fact. We were on the bottom of the list, and when I see something like that, that's great for everybody that's paying that water bill, but that means that we're not investing in our infrastructure. That's how we end up with 120-year-old water mains that have a lot of water main breaks. That's how A big thing in our world right now is lead service lines. If you have a lead service line, you have to get that replaced in the next 10 years. We don't have very many lead service lines in Marshalltown. That's with some of the past rules and regs that we've passed to keep up on those things. So we're very fortunate with stuff like that. But no, the large industry that we have is really no extra burden to any homeowner like that. I look at them as a good partner to help us be able to keep up with these water main projects, building new plants, because our plants 50 years old. We're hoping to get another 20 to 30 years out of that with this new RO system that we're building, but it's coming to the end of its life. And so with those people, we're able to do those things with also being able to keep rates down. And when you see that now we're starting to creep up, we're getting in the middle, that's because other places aren't doing things yet. They're not doing the projects, but they're going to need new treatment plants, they're going to need new mains, they're going to need new services, and when they do, their rates are going to go up too, and then we'll be back down towards the bottom of the list. So right now, our current plant, like I said, is a 12 million gallon a day plant. We have about 14 million gallons of water in the ground, and so I didn't talk about it now because it's just in the beginning stages, but we're in the process of looking for more well fields, so that way we don't run out of water. So, and we're very fortunate where we are. We haven't been affected by some of the droughts in the past years. Like I said, Marshalltown is a very fortunate place when it comes to water quality and the amount of water that we have.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you, guys.
Okay. Moving on to motions.
Motion to approve a new fiscal year 26 retail tobacco permit for Harshiva Inc. at 613 North 3rd Avenue.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Yepes Gomez?
Yes.
Cahill?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to resolutions. Resolution number 1.
Resolution authorizing the submittal of a grant application for airport sanitary sewer system improvement and certifies local match is available.
A motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
Okay.
Good evening, Heather Thomas, Public Works. So in front of you this evening is to submit a grant application for 75% cost share on some improvements out at the airport. Many of you guys are aware of our recent hangar and terminal project. As part of that project, we held a project contingency back. And as we've been working through the closeout on that project, we have finally gotten email acceptance of the closeout on the project. So we are going to be getting that grant reimbursement back on those final dollars. So we have about $155,000 left that we can use some of those stretch goals or anticipations that we wanted to do out at the airport. 2 of those items were the water service line. Previously out there, the water service line was a galvanized line, had some rusting in it, and it was turning the new fixtures in the facility colored and discoloration because of the condition of that. So city acted as the general contractor on that project, and we did replace that service line. Next, we look at the sanitary sewer side of things and the on-site treatment that we have out at the plant right now. Currently, we have a concrete tank that used to be a septic tank. No longer has a lid, and the leach field is no longer operable. So we currently go out there and pump out that waste and haul that back to the city for that. So the map in front of you is kind of some of the underground infrastructure. We went out there with city crews and did our best to televise. Those pipes are all Orangeburg pipes, which does not have a long life and are in need of some attention. So we thought that this, taking the contingency money from this project, maximizing that to the best of we can by getting a 75% cost share and going forward with a project to upgrade the wastewater out there would be a good move for us. Right now, the concept on the screen in front of you is what we're submitting. We do have a couple of other options on the table that we're evaluating that potentially would lower that cost by moving the on-site treatment south of those buildings closer to where some of those uses are right now. And so that would only reduce the cost in-house, but we wanted to go ahead and get a grant application application submitted and see if we can go ahead and capture some of those state funds. So with that, I will request your approval tonight for submitting a grant application in the amount of $276,450 towards the airport wastewater improvements.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor. So I'm going to abstain from this vote, really just because every vote that I've taken, I've tried to justify every vote. And then just reading the memo this weekend, I found out that I don't know much about the airport. I emailed Carol, I emailed Heather, and I'll be touring the airport and figuring out more the economic benefits that it has. So I just don't want to do a disservice to a taxpayer here and just vote yes or no and not really know much about the airport. So yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I have a question. Heather, when would the anticipated timeframe of this work, when would that happen?
Yeah, so we would find out about the grant later this year, and construction would be starting next spring.
Okay. Do you recommend you are recommending this, correct?
I am recommending approval, yes.
Okay.
Point of order.
Yes.
On the councilman's mentioning to abstain without what would be considered a valid rule or valid issue or by our rules, that will be recorded as a no vote. So he basically is saying he's voting no. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Heather? Anyone from the public? You need to come up to the microphone, please.
Lane Perry, 20 East State Street in Marshalltown. I just want to know what 75% cost share means.
Yeah, so in short, if a project is $100, a 75% cost share would mean the grant that we're going for from the state would pay $75 for every $25 the city pays.
Anyone else? We have a motion and a second, correct?
Doris Kinnick, 2020 Catalina Place. So where would that money come from the city?
Yeah, so this project was approved in a previous general obligation bond and combined with quite a few federal and state grants that were part of that project. So the bond money has been spent and we are still getting the final grant reimbursements of it. So, you can look at it two ways, but essentially it comes down to it is bond money, but it's bond money we've spent. We're getting reimbursed through grants right now.
Anyone else?
Your Honor, one more,
Yes.
if I may. Thank you. Heather, will those reimbursements be enough to cover our part of it, or do you project that?
Yes, we're currently projecting that if the state awards this full project, that we would have enough funds to complete the project. There is a chance that the state would not fund the entire project, and then we would look at to see how much of the project we can do to stay within the budget that we have.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Thompson?
Yes.
Yepes Gomez?
No.
Cahill?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Okay. Item number 2.
We have a public hearing and resolution providing for the vacation of the portion of the alleyway located between South 12th Street and South 13th Street adjacent to the Miller Middle School practice fields and approving the quitclaim deed to the Marshalltown Community School District.
Okay, I'm going to declare this public hearing open at 6:15 p.m. Clayton?
Good evening. We previously discussed this at your last council meeting, but the Marshalltown Community School District has requested a partial vacation of an alleyway between South 12th Street and South 13th Street adjacent to the Miller Middle School practice fields. The school district is the owner of all adjoining properties to the requested vacation, and this would not result in denying access to the one remaining private owner that has access off the alley. They'll still retain full access off that alleyway. This is recommended to be a by gift to the school district, which is allowed by Iowa code, and staff is recommending approval.
Okay. Have we got any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything to say here for the public? If not, I close the public hearing at 6:16 p.m. and move on to the resolution.
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the council? Roll call, please.
Yepes Gomez,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, item number 3.
A public hearing on the proposal to enter into essential purpose loan agreement.
Okay, I call this public hearing open at 6:17 p.m.
Yes, this public hearing is part of the legal process that is required to repurpose previously issued bond funds for authorized capital purposes. The city intends to use $26,000 in unspent proceeds from prior bond issues for sidewalk improvements.
Anything from the public? Seeing, do we have any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:18 p.m. and move on to the motion.
Your Honor, could I ask first a question? I didn't know if I was supposed to do it before or not. Do we have a listing of what sidewalks would be affected on this?
I don't have one handy. I could provide that at a later time. They're related to sidewalk gaps in sidewalks. That's primarily the reason, yeah.
I assume around the school systems, that's where you're at. Okay, very good, thank you.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
we have this resolution and 2 more to follow. It runs up to $371,000. I think everybody up here is in a consensus that roads need to be fixed in this town. There's been many councilors say that. I think it's time that we stop talking about it and start getting our boots on the ground and walk the walk. Thank you.
Can I ask, Your Honor, can I ask a clarification?
Yes.
Is that related to this sidewalk money issue? I'm confused about how fixing the roads, how that is affecting the issue before us.
Well, we have 26,000 and we have 250,000 for trails, and we only have 95 for police and fire. I think we need to do the roads and with the fire protection, and we got other bills coming with the essential.
So I think, may I?
Yes.
So I think some of these bond issues have roadway projects included in part of them. So I think, and I don't want to put words in Mark's mouth, but I think Mark's concern and maybe some concerns of others are that funding these types of projects might take away funds from doing roadway projects. As I've said previously, the dollars aren't necessarily that we're not doing a project. It's that a project might be delayed, that we have interest income that we've earned from the bond proceeds, or that a project has come in under budget. So those are some various reasons why we might have leftover bond funds that can be repurposed for projects that are needed, part of our capital plan, but that we don't have to have additional borrowings for.
Carol, don't we also pretty much every year do a school project or connecting sidewalks, because the city council back in the 60s and 70s decided you didn't need sidewalks, and then you did, and then you didn't. So as we're trying to get kids home safe from school, we try and find a few projects like that.
I don't know if it's every year. I would say that we do look for those types of projects regularly.
Okay. And Sue, just to let you know, when we do a public hearing, that's out there, comes back to us for resolution, we get a motion in a second, then the councilors ask questions.
Good, thank you.
Yes. So can I get a motion to approve?
We actually don't need a motion yet. We have 3 public hearings, and then we'll need a motion on item number 6.
Okay.
The proceedings for number 6 include all 3 public hearings.
Okay. Then moving on to public hearing.
Public hearing on proposal to enter,
Did you close this one?
Do I close?
oh, yes.
Okay. So I will close the public hearing at 6:21 as we move on to number 4.
Public hearing on the proposal to enter into trail improvements loan agreement.
Okay. I declare this public hearing open at 6:22 PM. Do we have staff review on this?
Yes, Your Honor. So again, this public hearing is part of this legal process. It's repurposing previously issued bond proceeds, and the city intends to use $250,000 in unspent proceeds from prior bond issues for trail improvements. This specifically relates to Iowa's River's Edge Trail. I believe it's bridges 2 through 5. Council, back in January, I think, reviewed your local option sales tax commitments. One of those commitments was this $250,000 dedicated to this project, and council determined at that time that rather than use lost revenue, that we would move forward with using bond proceeds.
Okay. Do we have any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Do we have any public comments?
Lee Botter, 401 Orchard Drive. First of all, I understand that and respect the need to have bond reallocations. I want to bring up a couple points on this issue, and I want to encourage council to consider before final votes will come through in the future. First of all, Councilman Schneider is the president of Trails Inc. This group will be the direct beneficiary of the proposed $250,000 reallocation. I recognize that we all have projects that we're involved with because of our interest and passions. However, in this case, I would propose that his relationship with Trails could be deemed as a conflict of interest. In the spirit of transparency and equity, I would respectfully request that Councilman Schneider recuse himself from the vote. To quote language from the Iowa League of Cities, the council member is required to declare the conflict, decline to vote, and should not participate in any discussion. In my opinion, if he would recuse himself, his action could help towards restoring public trust with our city leaders. I have now seen a couple councilors in the past recuse themselves from voting on things that impact them or their families. Second issue I want to bring up is in the March 9th council memo from City Administrator Webb regarding the 2022 GO bond, there was language indicating what the bond could be used for. 2 of the uses included the demolition and/or restoration of dilapidated properties or street repairs. I would encourage keeping in mind that we are looking at future acquisition of the old hospital. Taking this building down is going to take a substantial amount of dollars. Some estimates I've heard exceed $2 million. I do respect that our staff is working on the issue and will try to identify grants, loans, in-kind donations, future bonds, and other programs to help pay for this upcoming expense. But the reality we face is City of Marshalltown will have expenses when this property gets dumped on us. When you discuss and approve the CIP later in the meeting, it appears that we've only got $779,000 budgeted for the whole D&D program over the next 5 years. Will that actually cover the blight issues that we continue to face, which now includes the old hospital? The other category I see is we continue to witness a decaying infrastructure with our city streets. In the past 2 weeks, I have driven daily by a collapse of the street, either due to a sinkhole or a breaking of a water main located off Olive and 2nd Avenue, which is by the high school. It was just recently repaired, but the point is, street issues are an ongoing situation throughout our city. A consistent frustration as a business person I've heard from my clients and friends that are from Marshalltown and are from surrounding communities is the old hospital is an eyesore. And the ongoing question is, why isn't the city doing something? The other frequent comments I hear is that it's insane that our trails are nicer and better and maintained than our streets and sidewalks. The other question is, why are we paying for bridges and trails outside of our city limits, which is where your bridges 2 through 5 are? Please address our critical needs first and reallocate the bond for either dilapidated building removal, specifically for the hospital and/or for street repairs. I do thank you for your time today.
Anyone else?
Jim Palmer, 3111 South 8th Street. I also am a little opposed to this. I'm coming at this as a little bit different. I've been highly involved with the rebuilding of Little League, and I've also been part of MSGA, MFL. I've sat on those boards, and to quote our mayor from the other day at Miller, changing the unexpectable. We don't do anything for our kids. You say you do. I watched the chamber walk up here. Meetings before says they help out Little League, MGSA. They don't. Many of you have gone out there and say, we're here to support. You are? I can tell you to this day, the city hasn't offered one thing to Little League. Not one. And Mr. Mayor, you had a meeting with them, and you didn't offer anything. But what you did instead is charge them a water bill. When MFL gets it for free,
Jim,
and
let's stick to
I am sticking to the point.
Subject right here.
So I believe part of this money should go to the infrastructure. The city owns that property. Little League leases it from you, but you're responsible for the parking lot. So now I can talk about the roadway being used to resurface that parking lot. You did it for the adult softball complex, you can do it for Little League. The right purposes have to be used. And to make the point, as I made it earlier in open comments, the trail is beyond. I do understand the city owns that trailhead. But these taxpayers pay for things inside our community. That's a bonus that goes nowhere and will go nowhere at some point. It goes to our boundaries of Marshall County, and then it stops, and you hope somebody picks it up from there. There's no guarantee of that. Is it nice? Are the trails nice? Yes, they are. I'm not saying they're not used. They are. I see it all the time. But we need to support our youth, and that means all the organizations. So maybe you can find a way in this extra money you've got to support those organizations that are nonprofit-run folks, every single one of them, that have their own board. It's easy to do the right thing. But do you have the means to do it? Yes, you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Anyone else?
Your Honor, I was accused of having a conflict of interest. I do not. I have zero financial interest in Trails, Inc. This is a project for the community, and that's our behalf. I have zero legal, moral, or ethical issues with this vote, and I will be voting.
Thank you. Okay.
Your Honor, we're looking here for the $250,000 for trails. Just in the past few weeks, the ARL did a fundraiser. I think it's time for Trails, Inc. to start doing their own fundraisers. ARL, one night, $125,000. That was $60,000
Mark,
more than
we're talking about bike trails.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Trails can start doing fundraisers like everybody else. The people that use them can go to these functions and give their money there.
Okay. Do we have any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to close this public hearing at 6:31 p.m. And then we need to move on to number 5.
Yes, public hearing on proposal to enter into police fire facilities loan agreement.
Okay, I declare this public hearing open at 6:31 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor. So this is another public hearing that's required to repurpose previously issued bond proceeds. This public hearing addresses the intent to use $95,000 in unspent proceeds for some police and fire facility improvements. Those include improvements to the ventilation system, some sidewalks, lighting, and landscaping around the facility.
Okay. Do we have any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, anything from the public?
Jolene Ballard, 610 North 2nd Avenue. My house is over 100 years old. How old is a police and fire? And they need improvements already? They must have been poorly built. Please, as Mr. Palmer said, and Mrs. Bowder said, let's watch where we're spending our money. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I call the public hearing closed at 6:32 p.m. I'm sorry.
And we have a resolution taking additional action on proposal to enter into general obligation loan agreements, combining loan agreements and repurposing bond proceeds.
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Do I hear a second?
I'll
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second.
So this action relates to the 3 public hearings we just held. It authorizes the use of the previously issued and unspent bond proceeds for these approved capital purposes. We're repurposing proceeds from general obligation bond series 2021 and series 2022A. And this is so that we can, instead of issuing new debt, we can complete projects with no additional borrowing.
Okay. Have any questions or comments from the council? Anything from the public? Roll call, please.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Nichols, Nichols, Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson,
No.
Yepes Gomez,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Nichols, yes.
thank you.
There you go. Okay, moving on to number 7.
We have a public hearing and resolution adopting the budget and certifying taxes for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027, and related transfers between funds.
Okay, I call this public hearing open at 6:34 p.m. May I have a staff review, please?
Diana will provide the overview.
Good evening, Diana Steiner, Finance Director. This is our last step of putting the budget to bed, so to speak. Based on council's direction, the city's property tax levy shows $16.25 per $1,000 of taxable valuations on regular property and $3.00375 per $1,000 for agricultural land. This is an increase in the levy rate of 25 cents per 1,000 over the current fiscal year to fund the public transit system. This generates $268,000 more, which will help to replace buses. After departments went through the budgets, decreased their costs as much as possible, we came to council, they helped us make even more cuts, and then we had a deficit, and the deficit was covered through a transfer of $1,033,223 from local option sales tax. On the website's a variety of reports that goes into detail budget revenues and expenses that you're welcome to look at. The FY27 budget and certifying of taxes is due to the county by April 30th. Please act to adopt this budget along with the transfers between funds.
Okay. Does anyone from the public have any questions? Do you have any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to call the public hearing closed at 6:36 p.m. and move on to the resolution.
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments from the councilors? Roll call, please.
Cahill,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Yepes Gomez.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to number 8.
Public hearing and resolution adopting the budget amendment for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026, and the transfers between funds.
I call the public hearing open at 6:37 PM. Diana.
Diana Steiner, Finance Director. So this budget amendment does not increase property taxes. We reevaluated our revenues and expenses, and over the course of the last 10 months, we needed some adjustments. So in my memo, I outlined the major reasons for the increases and decreases by category and function, if you want more detail. And it's also on our city website.
Okay. Do we have any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Anything from the public? Hearing none, I call the hearing closed at 6:37 PM and move on to the resolution. To the resolution.
So moved, Your Honor.
Have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the councilors? Roll call, please.
Yepes Gomez,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Okay. Number 9, please.
public hearing and resolution approving the fiscal year 26 to fiscal year 30 capital improvement plan.
Move to approve?
We're in a public hearing. We have a lot of them tonight. I call the public hearing open at 6:38 PM. Do we have staff review?
Diana Steiner, Finance Director. A 5-year capital improvement plan is required by the state of Iowa. Capital improvement funds are used for major equipment, vehicles, construction projects such as buildings, bike trails, streets, parks, airport, sewer, stormwater infrastructure. Funding from these projects comes from a variety of sources, including donations, grants, the CIP property tax levy, borrowed funds, and charges for service. Department directors and the city administrator developed their proposed capital plan based on known and projected resources. During the budget cycle, the council reviewed several drafts of the 5-year capital improvement plan. The attached resolution would approve the capital improvement plan for fiscal years 26 through 30. Just if you have the opportunity to look through the plan, it's on the website as well. There's over $7 million for street improvements budgeted for fiscal year 27 and over $9 million for street infrastructure.
Thank you. Do we have any written comments?
No, Your Honor.
Do we have any public comments?
Lee Botter, 401 Orchard Drive. I guess you heard me a little bit ago with my concerns regarding on the CIP Fund 030-355, the D&D program, which is over 5 years, $779,210. The specific question that I have is, I do know that there's discussion going on about how are we going to fund this hospital thing, because it's going to be a big deal. We know that. Can we have staff or council address some of those on how do we anticipate paying for those? I did talk to a contractor. I did talk to a couple of people I know. And I do know just if we would go in there to take it down today, it's going to be over $1 million. It's very, very expensive. So if you guys could address that, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
I think it's still to be determined. Council needs to have a more in-depth discussion about how to fund whatever we do, if we demolish it or repurpose it.
I know there's grants out there, there's
We're looking at a variety
all kinds of
ways.
income, but until we actually get our hands on it and actually start going through at that time and place, we're kind of getting the cart before the horse. First, we got to get it. So, Anything else from the public? Okay, I call the public meeting closed at 6:41 PM and move on to the resolution.
Move to approve?
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second.
Thompson?
Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Here?
Thompson?
Yes.
Yepes Gomez?
Yes.
Cahill?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinances.
Ordinance 15115 to amend the Code of Ordinances, City of Marshalltown, Iowa, Chapter 76, Traffic Schedules, Schedule 4, Stop Intersections, and Schedule 5, Yield Intersections, third reading.
I hear a motion to approve.
So move.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Heather?
Good evening, Heather Thomas, Public Works. Tonight is the third and final reading of this ordinance. We've gone over some of the details in previous readings, so high level, this is a result of going through and identifying uncontrolled intersections and proposing control on 145 uncontrolled intersections, changing some syntax and correcting a couple of discrepancies between field and ordinance, changing 18 intersections from yield to stop signs, also removing stop signs related to recent street vacancies, removing the stop signs on Washington Street at the 2nd Street intersection, and we would recommend approval. I did have one public comment come in to me on this ordinance related to a request of some additional speed limit signs on Washington Street when we removed that stop sign, and we've gone ahead and proceeded with that.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Heather? Anything from the public? Roll call, please.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Yepes Gomez?
Yes.
Cahill?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance number 2, please.
Ordinance 15116 to amend the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 156 zoning regarding accessory structure locations and zoning definitions, third reading.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Clayton Ender, Assistant Director, Housing Community Development. There have been no updates or changes since your second reading. I'd be happy to go into detail on this again if so desired.
Anyone have any questions for Clayton? Anyone from the public? Anything? Roll call, please.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Yepes Gomez?
No.
Cahill?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance number 3, please.
Ordinance 15117 to amend the City of Marshalltown Municipal Code by adopting the 2021 International Residential Code, including Appendix AF, radon control methods, third reading.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Clayton Ender, Assistant Director, Housing Community Development again. As with your previous item, no additional changes or comments received since second reading. Happy to go into further detail if needed.
Anyone have any questions? Anything from the public? Roll call, please.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Yepes Gomez?
Yes.
Cahill?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Very good. Ordinance number 4, please.
Ordinance 15118 to amend the Code of Ordinances, City of Marshalltown, Iowa, Chapter 93, Parks and Recreation, Leisure, Section 93.001, Camping Time Limits, Permit B, third reading.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Kelsey.
Good evening, Kelsey Stafford, Park and Recreation Director. This is the third reading for changing the camping ordinance. Just a quick overview, allowing for long-term camping and some other minor wording changes, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Anyone have any questions up here?
Your Honor, for me?
Yes.
What would you prefer to change it to as far as it's a week now, correct?
So it used to be only 2 weeks. Now it is at director discretion. So we can approve up to a month in advance, but we would require them to pay in advance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything from the public? Roll call, please.
Yepes Gomez,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Okay, ordinance number 5, please.
Ordinance 15119 to amend the Code of Ordinances, City of Marshalltown, Iowa by amending Chapter 53, Stormwater by amending Section 53.006, Rate Structure and Stormwater Rate, second reading.
Move for approval.
Second.
Good evening, Heather Thomas. This is the second reading related to the stormwater discussion we had during budget time. This ordinance amendment increases the monthly utility rate to $4.60 per equivalent residential unit with an annual automatic increase of 1% effective July 1 of each year. I'll open that up to questions.
Does anyone have any questions up here? Anything from the public? Roll call, please.
Nichols,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Yepes Gomez,
Yes.
Cahill,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to our discussion items, solid waste study follow-up.
Yes, Your Honor. So council may recall that last year, we completed a solid waste study. And after a review of those study results, council directed staff to follow up on 2 specific policy items. One was whether the city should pursue a consolidated residential garbage pickup schedule, and the second one was whether the city should require garbage collection or proper garbage disposal for all properties through addition of city code language. Council might recall that the city currently operates under what's called an open market system for solid waste collection. Under this model, residents, businesses can select from private haulers that are licensed to operate within the city. This provides the customer the choice of who they want to use for their garbage hauler, but it also means that multiple haulers serve the same neighborhoods on different days. So the city really has limited ability to coordinate routes, reduce truck traffic, or create a single neighborhood collection schedule. So the policy questions that staff is asking of council tonight is whether council wishes to continue evaluating consolidated pickup, understanding that actually consolidating would require moving away from an open market system and toward a closed market system. I say this because staff did reach out to 2 consulting firms. One declined to submit a proposal, but one, GBB, this is their specialty, solid waste consulting. They reviewed our solid waste study and determined that a truly consolidated collection schedule is really not feasible under our open market system, that we would have to move toward more of a closed market and potentially a competitive hauler contract. The city would issue an RFP and competitively select trash haulers. So the first question is, knowing that, would council be interested in further considering a consolidated garbage collection system? The second question is if council prefers having a flexible garbage disposal requirement, allowing either a licensed hauler to service or self-haul to a licensed facility, or have a mandatory garbage collection service requirement for all properties. I've included in the agenda item 2 drafts of what that either of those options would look like in terms of city code. So staff is looking for some direction on if we should proceed with drafting any ordinance amendments or if we should continue to look at a consolidated garbage collection system.
Okay. Who'd like
Your Honor?
to stab at this?
Your Honor?
Yes.
So at this point in time, I would not be in favor of doing the consolidated pickup schedule. I think there's enough opposition within the community. It's not giving us the benefits we really want. So at this point, I would not be in favor of a standard single hauler system.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I have to admit that I was not on the council when this all transpired in the last year, but I sat in on a meeting before election time, and I am against moving to a consolidated system as well. I also am not for mandating that everyone have the garbage pickup. I think that it is just I believe that our system works. I believe Gary gave an example as a business owner. He had a dumpster at work. He took his personal garbage there. That's not a lot of people, but I think people figure it out. And I have to admit, when I sat in that meeting that night, I thought we spent way too much time, not even into the time prior to that, dealing with garbage and maybe having someone's can out on their driveway for more than one day. And my solution would be, as a good neighbor, you should go over and take their can up to their garage door or to their sidewalk and just say, hey, if you can get it out, great, but maybe they have an issue and they can't get it, they can't haul it, and they would love to have your help rather than just complaining that cans are out on the curb. That's my position. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Your Honor?
Yes.
I think if we allow people just to take their own trash to the city dump, that's going to create a problem for Clayton and his crew, because there's already many properties that just throw it on a flatbed or just throw it in their backyard and leave it for months. So we need to stick with what we've got, and it's working.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
So I realize I'll probably have the minority opinion here, but I'm not sure why consolidated garbage is so unpopular. The cities that have done it, my sister lives in Newton, and so, we talked about this, and I think she pays like $18, and I couldn't believe it, per month. And I just called Newton this afternoon because I just couldn't believe it, and spoke to one of the guys there. He told me that, let's see, I have notes here, that they charge $15 per month for garbage. $11 of that is for waste service. $4 is for recycling. You get 3 13-gallon bags, and if you need any more, you just have to pay $2 for any additional bags. Reading the surveys in the consultation, the consultation that we did in November, I saw that in the survey, 2 people mentioned that they pay $50 a month. Another person mentioned that they pay $50 every other month. And, I've been asking random people what they pay. No one has said $15 a month. That's a crazy low price for someone in Marshalltown. And even I couldn't believe it when my sister told me that Newman pays such a low price. So, I think this is just a question if we save Marshalltown residents money. So I'm not sure why it's so unpopular. But, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the one thing I would like to see come out of this is a consolidated pickup schedule for the curbside for enforcement. And so quadrant of town, day of week. Work it out with the haulers that they pick up on those days. That way, if enforcement officers are driving around, they see a toter sitting on the curb or not in a proper place, that they know that they're out of ordinance.
Okay. Anyone else? So it sounds like we are at not consolidating, correct?
Well, I don't know if we have a majority of opinion on that, or at least I haven't. Well, maybe we have.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
Okay.
5-2.
Yeah. We could take a closer look at what Jeff has mentioned of looking. Honestly, I'm not sure exactly which haulers do curbside. I know my hauler does, but I don't know if there's another hauler that does curbside.
Prairie and Moeller, I believe, are the only
Okay.
two, isn't that right?
So I could, Moeller is actually here in the room. Is Prairie here too?
Prairie doesn't, we allow our customers to do it curbside, but we do not ask them to put it curbside.
Okay. So we may only have one hauler then that does.
Yeah, Moeller's the only hauler that
Yeah.
has an automated truck.
So that, that doesn't, I don't know that that solves anything, I guess, is what I'd say. So I'm hearing no consolidated schedule. I'm not quite clear on the direction on requiring garbage. If you want a code update to make it more explicit that you need to self-haul your trash or you need to contract, it's sort of implied in code right now, but it's not explicit. So that might be something that we do that's a very kind of, what do I want to say, sort of, it's not too far of a reach, right, to do something along those lines, if council would be supportive of doing that.
Doesn't Knoxville have something similar to that? That you must have some type of garbage removal, whether you do it, whether a hauler does it?
Yeah, they do. I think it was Knoxville. I did contact them. I had included in the draft a requirement for basically a hauler reporting requirement that they would keep customer lists, and if we called and inquired about whether or not a particular address was a customer, that they would have to provide that information. But if people are allowed to self-haul, that's somewhat moot, I guess. So is there some support from council for moving forward with some ordinance change related to being more explicit about a requirement to actually dispose of your trash, even though it could be self-hauled?
Your Honor?
Yes.
I would support that change in the ordinance and the clarification of language that you either contract out or you self-haul. That would be my preference, and that's the way I would go.
And I agree with that. This is Greg Nichols. I'd support that. Well, we have some problems here every few places where somebody just keeps it filling up their front porch, and we got a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm generally in favor too, but I'm trying to understand if somebody can just say, yeah, I self-haul, what's the point? Can you clarify what we're going to do in that situation?
I mean, I think it would be through complaint process. We would have to, verify it. There's a requirement that would be in there that you would have to do it I think it's once a week. That would be the requirement. So it'd be through complaints and verifying that obviously you haven't hauled your trash within the last week.
Mark?
Could we hear what Clayton would have to say to something like that, as what he would prefer, what would make his job easier? I mean, his crew's strapped right now.
Clayton Ender, Assistant Director, Housing Community Development. Certainly some level of requirement or language that hauling trash is a requirement, whether it be self-haul or contracted, would be helpful. Enforcement, as well as having a specified time frame so that it's not an open-ended, I can haul it once a year type thing. Whether it be a week, every 2 weeks. I think we can work there on what that frequency is, but there should be some specific language that would give us some better tools for nuisance enforcement.
And would we require like a receipt from the dump? I know they always give you one when you go in and pay. Maybe that could be part of it. Put a little onus on the people who do self-haul, that some proof that you actually did.
Yeah, I could see what I could write into the code or something along those lines.
I still do think there's a purpose in curbside collection of having a unified schedule so that city can enforce. Because right now it's impossible. You could have it sitting out for multiple days, somebody could look by and it's like no idea which day that was supposed to be picked up. So it's just difficult to enforce.
And Clayton, he might know this, but I believe there is a requirement in code that you have to bring your trash container, take it off the curb within a certain amount of time. Is that accurate?
I believe there is, but I would have to open up the code to
So it
verify
would be a
that.
matter of enforcing that. We can double check that, but I believe that is a code requirement.
Yes, it is. The question is the person enforcing doesn't know what day of the week that trash gets picked up.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I'm getting at, is if you know that on South 6th Street, your pickup day is Thursday, if there's a toter there on Saturday, you know that they're out of compliance.
That enough guidance for you?
Yes, I think so.
We'll let you work on it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll bring back an ordinance. That's what I'll do. And I'll talk to Mueller too, a little bit about what you're talking about, Councilor Schneider.
Okay. We're down to, is there any public comment on this?
Hi, Lane Peary, 20 State Street. First, a question. I thought I heard someone say that there was someone that was taking their trash to work and dumping it there. Is that allowed? So if you own the business.
If you own the business,
Cool.
sure.
Yeah, so I just want to say, like, I know a lot of people in town that truly just find a dumpster. That's where we're at, you know. I just think, and a lot of these smaller issues that you're talking about, the ones that we're trying to write the code to try to fix, it would be fixed if we just did a consolidated trash pickup. And I know that's not popular with people. Probably, I'm not going to say everyone, but I mean, a lot of people are getting away with trash pickup for free because they figured out a way to do that. And I don't blame people for trying to save money. I really don't. But at some point, we have to have a system that works for everybody, and stop. I mean, it doesn't help our community when we're trying to make someone else pay for our trash pickup. I understand times are hard, but also, like Councilman Yepes Gomez said, it's not that expensive when everyone's paying into it. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Jolene Ballard, 610 North 2nd Avenue. I live in the 600 block, and I can see down the street, and I think Mueller picks up on Mondays. And guess what? Tuesday, there's no garbage cans left out there anymore, so just saying.
Doris Kinnick, 2020 Catalina Place. I like capitalism, okay? I like free choice. That's why I love living in the United States. We're a republic. I think it's important that we are able to choose our own garbage. I can't believe we're talking about garbage like this, but we are. And I think it's kind of funny that people actually think that one solid rate is going to be perfect for everybody. That's not the free market system. So, thank you.
Thank you, Doris.
Tim Bradbury, 12 North 10th Avenue. I like the free market system too. I know there's a lot of people that can't do their own. I do my own, but I'd like to see wording in there, maybe be every 2 weeks. We don't put out that much garbage just for me and my wife. It's just a few bags. And $50 or $80, I've heard the $80 bill, but to me, if I can save money, I've seen people do it in their cars because they just have a couple of bags that they take over there, and that $50, yeah, I have money, I can take care of it, but if I can save some money because I'll need it later, I don't know what my bills are going to be when I'm retired and stuff. If I can save $50 to use on something else, I think we should have the right to. And so I'd like to see the wording, if you do, let us be able to take our own. If people don't take their garbage, and I see people that do have canisters, but they still have a ton of garbage on their porch or in the back or whatever, that's not going to solve that bill either. So that's what Clayton's job or whoever's in that department take care of. They got ways to take care of that. So I'd like to still have the right to do it, and maybe the wording, maybe every 2 weeks. A receipt is no problem because they do offer receipts on there. I just never knew that was required to. But leave the option of the free market, the independent haulers, as long as they're doing a good job. There's problems with the ones that do it with the new big trucks because they, on windy days, snowy days, people can't get in the snow banks and put their garbage out there in the dumpsters. I see the wind and snow blow those things down, blow it out. I see the stuff when it goes top high into the truck, spread out on the road and on the field, and then they don't go after the trash because it's flying around. There's issues with the new stuff that they got. So I wish we'd go back to the old-fashioned way in the old trucks because they did a better job with more people. That was also jobs provided, and also, to me, it was a better system. But anyway, I'd like to at least leave some of those options open.
Thank you.
I'm trying.
He was running.
Ray Mitchum, 1402 South 3rd Avenue. And all the years we've lived in our house, the capitalism, I certainly appreciate being able to have the competition. We have the best garbage hauler that I think we've ever had. The area sanitation is right here tonight. And that's all we've ever known. And talk about the nicest people. They will do anything for you to make your garbage pickup easier. And I just can't imagine anybody that has been more cooperative than our garbage hauler, area sanitation. And they've been that way for years, and it's just nice that they come right up to your door. And my wife and I, as you can see, I don't get around as much as I used to, but it's just nice to have them come right to your door and pick it up regardless of the weather. And for people, and I don't think we're the only older people in town that appreciate what's being done by people like area sanitation. And I know they aren't the only ones, but we have appreciated all these years what they've done, and I appreciate your allowance to have the competition like you do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, could I get a comment in?
Sure.
Okay, so I heard a comment or two comments about capitalism. No one thinks of Newton as communist China or anything like that. Newton has figured it out. They charge residents $15. We're talking about charging, families $80 or something closer to $15. That's a massive savings. So, I mean, that's essentially kind of what I feel like we're arguing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tom Kurth, 802 Highland Acres Road. Father started in 1928. I took it over in 63, 78 years. The wheel is greased. Leave it alone. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Jim Palmer, 3111 South 8th Street. I like your idea, Jeff, and doing the quadrants, if we can figure that out and what works feasible for them for Moeller, which has that automatic curbside. Because most of the others don't. I've seen most of the others go up and collect it by the house or the garage. So I like the quadrant idea of it. I am for choice. Myself as a business owner, always have these discussions, we're always looking to save money. I think the service, the competition is important. Government was never supposed to be in competition, and that's kind of what we're talking about here, is doing a consolidated system. And anytime government does it, there's always something that falls through the cracks. These people work hard at what they do. They have immense costs. They have their equipment, they have their insurance, they have their fuel. I'm sure they even have to buy a permit from the city to even be a hauler for the city. So there's a lot of expenses there. I don't know how big, Marco, the community is you're talking about and the number of people, but if it's substantially larger than Marshalltown, that can't be compared because that cost is spread out over everybody. So that's possible. I don't know. It never was mentioned. So, I know what I pay. I know what he charges, area sanitation, because out where I'm at, he's going to be servicing our whole lane. So I know what residential is, and I know what my commercial is. And commercial is always more than residential. So when somebody throws an $80 cost out there, I'm like, no. That's more a commercial site than it may be for a residential. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom?
Tom Dimely, 210 East Main Street. Just one question as we talk about a consolidated pickup. Is there a cost estimate on what the taxpayer or the resident would pay for that in a consolidated model? That's my only question.
Part of the solid waste study, they did look at pricing. They found, the student that worked on that found that generally speaking, our open market system came at a higher cost that for the customer than it might in, say, a municipal system or a closed market system. I can't speak to specifics on that, but generally she found that to be true.
We have that all taken care of?
Good.
We're good. Okay. Last item is additional concerns from property owner at 210 East Main Street, Tom Dimerly. Tom, you're up.
So I'll just kind of kick it off, I guess, a little bit of that. This conversation was prompted by at a previous meeting, I think maybe it was the last meeting, actually. Council directed myself to work with Tom on a potential mutually beneficial outcome related to a sidewalk that runs adjacent to Tom's property that is in need of repair. We haven't been able to come to an agreement on that. Tom has some additional concerns about an alley that runs adjacent to his building that's being converted to a pedestrian alley. And so he asked for some time in front of council to talk about his concerns about the staff's position on these things. So I'll turn that over to Tom.
Again, Tom Dimely, 210 East Main Street. I think you all know why I'm up here. There's no doubt you know I'm up here. Administrator Webb did exactly like you said at the last meeting. She came up with some options. I told her I was open to those options. I'm not. So eventually I thought, why waste your time after I feel like I've had my time wasted, and I feel like I'm wasting your time. But here we are. So we have some concerns. We have concerns about the sidewalk. We have concerns about the alley being converted to a pedestrian-only alley. We were okay with that to begin with. We were going to work with the city because we understood the need. We thought there was an understanding that we had a delivery door. So I'll just back up real quick. On this slide, the building in the center is our building. The building here, I forget my pointer, I can't really see it, but the big glass area and the building in the center is our lot. So the main road going from the right to left is Main Street. The main road going from the southwest to the northeast is 2nd Avenue. We own that lot and that building. We have the entire half block right there. So you'll notice we share that with the Orpheum, and we share that with Waterworks as well. So I'll just drop down to the next slide here. This is the alley in question. On the larger picture, you can see our overhead door is up. In the background, quite a ways up, you can see some double doors. About halfway up the building, those double doors serve about a 1,500 square foot central delivery area, and it serves the entire building. So there are 4 different suites with access to this delivery node, if you will. We conveyed that along to staff, and staff said they walked the property, and they came back and told us that they had made reasonable accommodation. Well, the reasonable accommodation occurred sometime in the past 2 years, and it involved moving barricades from right on the right side of the picture by our garage door. There were going to be 2 barricades that went up, or bowlers, if you will. Think of them as a big concrete pillar. And we had concerns that those blocked our walk door and that of the Orpheum, which is on the other side of the alley. So the staff and Bolton Mink moved those boards to where we thought they should have been to begin with. And we were happy about that. That was great. I don't know when, but at some point it must have been conveyed that we were happy with that. I don't care what was going on in my life at that time, but I would have never said, please take away delivery access to my building. I don't know a developer in the history of developers that would. So if that was conveyed, I would have thought somebody in that conversation would have said, time out, are you sure? But here we are. I don't feel like I need to be up here right now. I find it infuriating. If you have not figured it out, I'm sure you have. I feel like I'm a bear that's sleeping and it keeps being poked. So if you think I'm pissed off, I am. I'm sorry, Mike, but I'm pissed. I'm trying to watch my language. Thank you. My wife's not here, so she's happy too. So that's the alley situation. We have reached out to an attorney. I have talked to one of the best eminent domain attorneys in Iowa. I'm betting that Administrator Webb will know who I'm talking about. It feels to me like somebody is giving legal advice to the city who wants billable hours. In essence, I've been driven to a point where I have two choices, and you know what they are. One of them is legal action. And so I will end up suing the city as a taxpayer. So I'll end up suing myself to get what I already have. Come on. Why am I up here? So, let me jump into things from our perspective, because I bet you saw my proposal over the weekend when he has lost his mind. Well, I haven't. So let me paint my proposal, which was, for the public, that we have access to our alley. That we have a key, similar to what was conveyed that Alliant Energy would have. Well, that was backpedaled then, that Alliant didn't get a key to this alley, but they would have access anytime they wanted. So if you're not going to give me a key, then give me a phone number to the staff person that I'll call every time there's a delivery, about 3 times a day. How about that? So, I also have the sidewalk issue. I don't feel like we should pay for the sidewalk. And part of my presentation here will convey that as to why I don't think we should pay for the sidewalk. The last component is some green space. Part of our goal with this property has always been to not have a property that detracted from the east end of Main Street. We feel like we have been good stewards of the east end of Main Street and approached the city in good faith 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago about the Main Street project and incorporating our lot into that project. So we could have something that was complementary to the investment that the city has made in the area. Well, at some point, we got tired of asking. We weren't going to chase. We have plenty of work to do on our property. As developers, our whole point of buying it was to bring the property up to full economic potential. And we did that. We bought 8,000 square feet of retail space online. And the city helped us a little bit. Thank you. We appreciate that. Of our total capital investment in our property, we have used public funding on 1.75%. I'm going to show you a slide in a second. Most developers target 15 to 20% public participation. Anything more than that, the project probably shouldn't go. It's too risky. No public entity should get involved. Anything less, the developers getting shortchanged. Well, for us, We didn't want to chase. We knew the administration at that point. You know what? To hell with it. If you don't want us to help, we won't help. So, a quick history lesson. Parking lot T, State Street. I should have just yelled squirrel and pointed. This is right there. What I want to point out on this is that the project started on March 27th. The city got involved with their lot on May 8th. So a part of the State Street project, the city said, wait a minute, our lot is a piece of crap. And that is a poor reflection on City Hall. So you add it on, and you have a beautiful parking lot. I'm not against that. I'm all for it. If you had done that after State Street, as a taxpayer, I would have said, what in the world are you thinking? I'm all for it. I'm all for everything I'm about to show you. Here's a parking lot behind the Fremont. Another public parking lot. Total cost about $1.2 million. City participation about $770,000. That isn't completely accurate because the city sponsored the loans from the state. So city participation is actually higher than that. But that is the number that I could factually check. If you haven't figured it out, I like facts. I don't like spin. Facts on their own, in this case, stand alone. So why would I spin it? Oh, I should mention, I'm a fan of the dumpster enclosure that's paid for by the city on behalf of the private developers, private commercial developers. And there's a lot of landscaping. We all know the parking lot is beautiful. It's great. It's exactly what we want for the downtown. I feel this way just because you guys own the lot, you know you do, but you have a brand new sidewalk right along First Street that you paid for because the demo permit that you issued did not get fulfilled. And the reason I bring that up is because I have property where the demo permit did not get fulfilled, or should I say enforced. Now, as the mayor has mentioned, I as a developer should have planned to replace that sidewalk. Well, I did, Mike, and I approached you guys multiple times, so that sure is an insult. I don't know a developer that would put up with this crap. I have to because I own the building. To me, I hope you have a different playbook when somebody has another zero behind their capital investment. $500,000 is as far as we can go. But I feel like we're getting kicked around. I'll keep going. We all want to go home. County alley repair. At the last meeting, Councilwoman Cahill recognized that you had done a project recently where you partnered with the county to update a parking lot in an alley, and that's great. What I would note on this, and it's kind of hidden in these pictures, but that alley is the front door to private business or private ownership. And for that, I say, great. But you improve my neighbor's property, and you're taking my alley. Do I need to keep going? I'm asking for 4 of you to put a stop to this. This picture is taken from the top of our building, looking towards the lot and the intersection at 2nd Avenue and Main. I'll note within this picture is about $15 million in capital investment and about $1.5 million in public incentives. Now that's a low number, but I can remember putting that together. If you don't remember or don't know, I used to work on these projects. So I help in the capital stack of making these go. I know where the bodies are buried. If you want to know about the hospital, I can tell you about the bodies, and there's a lot. My point is that a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of energy on city staff, economic development staff, a lot of staff, time and interest, a lot of money, and a lot of incentives. You can't see it in this picture, but there's a fire hydrant that just got installed on our lot. Now, according to staff, we must have signed something at one time that says that's okay. And if we did, then that's okay. We're not trying to go back on that. We do wonder why we have a hydrant in our lot when right down the street there's hydrants going the right of way. But there must have been a reason that were opposed to us. But we didn't ask for money. We didn't ask for compensation. There it is. So that leads me to something I don't understand. Administrator Webb, at one point in the conversation, said that they didn't engage right away on our offer of green space for the sidewalk because they didn't find that green space in that scenario was mutually beneficial to the city. I replied back, I am honestly looking forward to hearing that argument. Because from our chair, the city is spending $7.9 million on our front yard. And we appreciate that. Nobody is up here complaining about it in the least bit, or incentives, or anything else. But we don't want to get kicked around. So at this point, we have a hydrant that nobody paid for. We have a green space nobody wants. And we have a sidewalk we're supposed to pay for. A sidewalk that services this entire area. Well, you proved it yourself. Just now, you put a hydrant in our lot that will service the entire area. So why are we paying for the sidewalk? So I don't think our offer is out of line. Take our green space, but take it and seed fund something that makes a difference. And my next slide will show you why we think that. I'm sorry. There's the alley again. Let's make that one go away. How about that? Here's a slide taken from our top of our property. This is parking lot M. If you're not familiar with it, Lucy's Bar is on the right, Medical Supply is on the left. Iowa Valley owns the building in the background, and again, we're taking that looking down, so the Orpheum is off to your left. This is parking lot M and the archway. I'm probably not going to make any friends here, but why are we building an archway? Did you know the archway costs $250,000? Maybe I was asleep for a couple of years, and I apologize about that, but I'm not now. $250,000. $250,000. 5% of the overall project, roughly speaking. And then you hit parking lot M. And again, I'm a big fan of facts. So I don't want to spin this. And I encourage Administrator Webb or whoever knows about this to correct me if I'm wrong. But I have double-checked a couple times to make sure that I understand this clearly. My understanding is this parking lot will be put back as it is, with new stripes. I'll go back. You see that big cutout of concrete right in the middle of that parking lot? That is a strip of concrete with 2 light poles that will be placed in it. And then that parking lot will have a nice new entrance, but it will still be a giant piece of stuff that it is. I didn't slip, Mr. Mayor. So at this point, from our perspective, the city is about to own a giant hospital. And your numbers aren't too far off as to what it will take to knock that thing down, and that's the only thing you can do with it. It should have been taken care of years ago. But people in your position didn't have the intestinal fortitude to step up to hospital management. That's not why I'm here tonight. Other than to say, why are we welcoming people to a downtown that's about to expand? Why don't we put up archways back on 3rd Avenue? Your city engineer is quoted as saying it's an homage back to 3rd Avenue. Well, let's put them back on 3rd Avenue because our downtown is about to start on 3rd Avenue. Or better yet, get rid of the archway altogether. As far as I could tell, it's about $250,000 cost and about 3/4 is labor. That hasn't happened yet. So eat whatever has been ordered, back it out, and do parking lot in the way it should. Put up the seed money that we're requesting and provide that to the Art and Cultural Alliance along with our green space. And let's do something that we can all be proud of the day that we cut the ribbon on Main Street. Otherwise, after this, a lot of people are going to be looking east and seeing a giant archway and 2 crappy lots. Is that what we're doing? Are we putting up a $250,000 archway so when people pull into our community, you can go, and on the left we have a crappy lot, and 200 feet up we have an even crappier lot, but they mow it. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions with Tom?
I do have a couple of questions, if I may. Sorry.
And I apologize. I am fired up.
First of all, thank you very much, Mr. Dimerly, for providing us with this information. Again, being new on the council, I did not have a lot of the back information, or even with the archways, there are some things I'm just not as familiar with, and again, I appreciate you putting it together. When we did talk last time, I know that I said I was in favor of us fixing the piece of sidewalk that's on your property, on that corner there, because we had voted to work on the alley on the opposite side, not necessarily to connect it to the county county properties, but because they were resurfacing their properties at the time, and this was a means to do that. So I appreciate your facts, but there were a couple of things that I just wanted to clarify from my memory, which is probably worse than yours, if you say.
Oh, I don't think so.
But when you talked about the Tremont lot, it was true, the city worked with that, but that was from a need from water when it rained and the
Correct.
runoff. So that was an issue that the city needed to work on to take care of. It was not necessarily in my opinion, that was something that we as the city, because it did provide for, the runoff was not a good thing.
And Madam Councilman, I don't disagree with that at all.
Okay.
Now, did it have to be built to that level? It probably didn't, in my opinion. It probably didn't need electric car hookups. All I know was external funding that came in. I'm not trying to spin it in any
Well,
way.
and I'm not trying to, I appreciate, again, I appreciate what you're saying.
On the county, the one thing I would point out, it was a 5-2 vote to use bond money for Main Street. So there's a precedent of dipping into reserve bond money to do these projects. I mean, what I'm asking for is no monetary money to us. Maybe I should clarify. We think the whole package should be that the city fixes the sidewalk, that we keep our alley as it is, and the city push up a seed fund of $20,000 to the Art and Cultural Alliance, along with our property, and we turn them loose. We fund them to do art and that in the community. We have a major intersection here as a part of a $7.9 million project. So we're going to spend, let's call it $8 million, and we're going to leave these 2 pieces of crap sitting there. You have a willing owner. Our goal is to make sure the next building owner, because we have our building for sale, and it's not like a house. We may be there for 12 months, 18 months. We plan on that.
Can I ask a couple of more questions?
Yeah, absolutely. I will just keep going.
No,
so.
again, at the last meeting and the things I commented on, I understood we were talking about the sidewalk mainly. The alley, I know you referred to, but again, I was I didn't have any preparatory work to understand what the issues in the alley were, other than, if I'm correct on this, that the downtown plan wanted to make that a pedestrian alley, correct?
Correct.
And you said that with your pictures, because I drove by there, I'd driven by the other day, looked at the sidewalk, and it's like, I still agree, city should work on that. As I looked at the back area, you could get to your service door, and if, in my understanding, I thought they were going to move the barriers beyond the door that's just to the south of your big garage door.
Correct.
And to the south of a similar door on the Orpheum that was almost directly across from it.
Correct.
I did not understand, or I guess I want to know, how many tenants are in your building that use those double doors that are further on down for deliveries?
Currently is 3.
3.
That would be us, and we are a tenant of our building.
Sure.
We have one of our major tenants, Judge, furniture related, and retail related.
Okay.
So, I mean, the city has said, well, you have reasonable access. You can put it on a cart and drag it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds good when you're moving maybe a chair, but you're not going to move a 100-pound piece of furniture up that way 5 times over or whatever. And if you're having a retail delivery, that doesn't work. I mean, guys, that is an economic hit to our property. Yes, you own the alley, but there's 130 years of access.
Mm-hmm.
It gets pretty muddy.
Well, as I looked at your proposal, and you said that, you were at a point, and because of, you've spent a lot of time on this, the city and staff have spent a lot of time on it, that your proposed terms, I thought were just much broader than what we had talked about last meeting when you were here. And I understand why you're doing that.
That's correct.
Because you're tired of trying to dink with each additional piece.
And I dug into this.
Yes.
Once I saw a $250,000 archway, yeah, I thought, what are we doing?
Well,
I mean-
I am still of the mind that, yes, we should fix the sidewalk. If we can put together plans for a green space art thing down the road, I would certainly be in favor of that. I am just not sure that the proposal terms that you provided, they are so far beyond what we talked about last week when we asked Carol to negotiate with you a little bit. Again, I fully understand your issues, and I understand, and thank you for bringing me more information on this. I am, because I don't have all of that background, it's hard for me to say, yes, let's get this done by Friday and let's have it on the books. I think that there are more issues to be discussed concerning the green space, concerning an art project that the city might put in there, looking at changing something in the plan now, such as an archway. I think those are things that we need to consider and look at deeper. I don't know if that will change it or not. That's not I didn't help put it together, so I don't know everything that's involved in that. But I do think that we should look at the issues that we can work on right now and get taken care of quickly and efficiently and to the satisfaction of both groups, and then continue to work on the other points. And that, I don't know what we're going to come up with tonight, if we're going to make any kind of votes, resolutions.
I'm not looking for any tonight, Councilwoman.
Well, but again, I do appreciate you providing some of this background. I thought a few things, like the Tremont parking lot, there were some different reasonings. It's not just that the city said, let's go put a cool new parking lot there. There were different reasons.
Well, but the fact is, you spent $1.2 million and you spent $800,000. I didn't make that up.
Okay, no,
So,
I'm with you, but I know
I
that.
wasn't.
Let other people speak.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Thanks,
I wasn't arguing the need for a parking lot.
Does anyone else have questions for Tom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Tom, at the end of last meeting, we had all discussed with Heather that, and Mark can probably vouch for me, I was looking at the downtown master plan last week, and I'm looking at it this week. That sidewalk is scheduled for replacement in the downtown master plan in Phase 8.
Phase 8?
Yes.
10 years?
Yes. But it's scheduled for replacement.
And I asked city staff, okay, Will you give me a guarantee that I don't have to replace the sidewalk and I have it in writing? No. As soon as a complaint comes in, you will have the complaint arrive and you will be responsible for replacing it. I oppose that scenario.
Sorry, what'd you say right there at the end?
I oppose that scenario.
Okay.
We could wait. And the city said we can wait. But I said, no, I don't think so. Now we brought it up and you're putting $9 million or $8 million literally next to the sidewalk. Let's just say that I go back far enough with the city, but I could see that notice showing up very shortly after construction was done. So I'm up here trying to save money for everybody rather than waiting until phase 8, which we won't get to. I mean, somebody will complain.
Well, it isn't the plan to be fixed. We can't do everything at the same time. As far as the archway, I don't think you're right. I think that's going to be a huge attraction to the downtown and a benefit to your tenants. It'll give people pride in the work that's being done. So
I think you should ask my tenants. I think you should ask my tenants. Go ask them what they think about that archway and that parking lot. Common sense, guys. Common sense.
I think if we go ahead and do this sidewalk project, we're going to open up a can of worms, and everybody in town's going to want their sidewalks fixed or their approach, their driveway. I think we just need to leave it. You bought the property. Most people, when they buy a property, they see what it's like before they buy it. So evidently, you must have been satisfied.
I bought it with the intent of doing what I did for years, working with the city like every other developer downtown. Let me back up. What else do you need? You want to go this far and not fix that sidewalk? Then, councilman, vote no.
Okay, let's bring this just up to council level. What do we want to do here? Is there anyone who wants to accept Tom's offer?
Not me.
Your Honor, as I said, I think that I could pick and choose 1, 2 things out of it and put others on a list to look at further down in addition to our other master
I think,
plan.
are you interested in accepting Tom's offer as?
Not as written.
Thank you. Councilor Thompson? Okay. Councilor Fonseca?
I am not interested in pursuing Tom's offer either.
Thank you. Councilor Nichols?
I think we could work on some things, but at this point, for this proposal, I cannot support it.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
Now, I want to make clear that the council is electing not to accept our green space gift. Is that the message that's being sent right now?
If the green space was included in your offer, it was said no.
Okay. So, Councilwoman, to your point, you want us to keep working on this. We're 6 years later, and there's a $7.9 million project going on. We are asking for a small amount of seed money to go to an organization funded by the city for the purpose of art. So with that, I'll back off. I just want to make sure that they're crystal clear to the taxpayers.
Thank you. Does anyone have any different direction to give to Carol?
I think what we're looking for is, do we proceed with placing the burden of the cost of the repair of the sidewalk on the adjacent property owner? What I saw with Tom was some sort of cost share in doing that, or I mean, does the city pay for it? And then can we proceed as we have been with the pedestrian alley?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I motion that we proceed with the pedestrian alley and leave the sidewalk to phase 8 when that happens.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay. May I have a roll call, please?
Just so you understand, We will not pay for that sidewalk. And if you replace it and you special assess it to us, we don't have to mow, we don't have to pay taxes, and we're pretty upset.
Thank you, Tom.
Don't put us in that position.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Could you repeat the motion?
That the pedestrian alleyway stay and the sidewalk remains the property owner's. Roll call, please.
Thompson?
No.
Yepes Gomez?
Yes.
Cahill?
No.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
No.
Schneider?
Yes.
Did that pass?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. With that, meeting adjourned at 7:47. Sorry it's so late. I didn't know at what point do you stop. Right.